Social Security $1,400 fourth stimulus check update. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, this continues to be a major question showing up down below in the comment section, as many of you here in the community are reaching out asking for the latest updates on a $1,400 fourth stimulus check specifically focused on Social Security and, of course, fixed income beneficiaries. Many of the questions coming in that I've been seeing are including, has a check been approved? Has a check been passed? Are we going to be getting deposits? How much will the next check be? Will there be another check? Who's going to be getting it? And how soon will they get it out to us? Now, these are just some of the questions that I've been seeing showing up, and that's what I want to focus on here in the video. Since so many of you have been asking about this, I want to make this dedicated video and talk about a Social Security $1,400 fourth stimulus check, where we currently stand, what's going on with this, and any latest updates on this topic. So let's get into it and talk about all the different moving parts. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video. As I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm watching all this new information hitting the wire each and every day, doing all the research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what is actually going on and, most importantly, how you can grab as much as you possibly can right now, including money, benefits, checks, raises to benefits, programs, stimulus, or anything else out there right now that may be coming up for the low income and fixed income beneficiaries. I truly want to help you out in any way that I possibly can, as I completely understand money is very, very tight right now, especially for the low income and, of course, fixed income beneficiaries. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and I'll continue to be here for you every single day to help you out in any way that I possibly can. All right, let's get into it and talk about all the questions that many of you here in the community have been asking about this, and I want to clarify some things as far as what is actually going on right now. However, before we get into this, I want to say this much, as I always like to say this right at the very beginning. As of right now, a fourth stimulus check in any dollar amount has not been approved as of right now, okay? I want to make that very clear so we're all on the same page here and there's no misunderstanding as far as what we're currently talking about and what is actually going on right now. Now, here's another thing too. I've had a number of people reaching out saying, I heard a check is going to be distributed or deposited on blank date. You know, given the different dates out there, I've seen a variety of different dates. Apparently, there's some information going around saying checks will be deposited on this day, or arrival dates this day, or deposits coming in to your bank account tonight. Is that really happening? No, it's not. At least it's not a fourth stimulus check. I can promise you that much. Maybe it is a check from Social Security, your regular monthly benefit. Maybe it's some kind of other payment that we already know about, but I can guarantee you this much. It is not a $1,400 fourth stimulus check from the government. I can guarantee you that much. Now, maybe in some select states out there, because there are a lot of states out there that are sending out focused stimulus checks right now to millions of Americans all across the country. Maybe it's in reference to that. But again, in most instances, that's not even the case either. So again, there's a lot of information out there right now, and I want to bring it to you right here because, like I've said so many times in my videos, it is my dedication to bring you the honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent information every single day in these videos, and I'm going to give it to you straight, even if it's things that we may not want to hear all the time. Again, I'm going to bring it to you no matter what is actually going on. That is my dedication, and as always, I'm going to bring it to you straight no matter what, like I've been saying right here in this video so far. But anyway, let's quickly talk about what is actually going on right now and some things that I'm watching that we want to continue watching very closely going forward, as things are changing and we're seeing some major cracks developing in this economy. Now, is that a good thing? Depends how you look at it. If you want to see another check coming out, then you probably want to look for some big cracks, right? You want to look for some craters. You want to look for some big gaps in the economy, because that is likely what's going to distribute another stimulus check, because that's what happens when the economy contracts, and that's what we're currently seeing as of right now. There's a lot of contraction going on in this economy, and it's not looking pretty right now, right? And it's likely going to get a lot worse going into the new year and throughout the entire 2023. In fact, there's a lot of people out there right now, big banks, large institutions. There's a lot of people that are suggesting 2023 is not going to be a pretty year when it comes to the economy. Now, again, Only time will tell. I say that a lot in the videos. Only time will tell, right? Everybody has their own ideas. Everybody has their own predictions. Everybody has their own estimations as far as what's going to go on here. But the fact of the matter is, the truth will be told as we continue to work our way through 2023. So I want to continue to throw that out there as well. But let's quickly talk about a few things that I'm watching right now as well. So a few things we're watching. Number one, the Federal Reserve. I know I talk about this a lot, but the fact of the matter is the Federal Reserve is basically wagging the tail of the dog right now when it comes to this economy and anything else that comes out in the form of additional checks, whether it's monthly checks, a one-time check, future stimulus checks, anything like that. It basically all comes down to the policies out of the Federal Reserve right now, because remember, they are raising interest rates, which is trying to bring down this inflation, which again hasn't exactly been working all that well over the last several months since they started aggressively raising interest rates. However, when it comes down to it, we got to continue watching the Federal Reserve very closely, because as they continue to raise interest rates very aggressively, this is going to continue to contract on the economy even further, right? So more jobs will be lost. We already know this. Jobs will be lost. In fact, the chairman of the Federal Reserve made it very clear a couple months ago when he was out speaking, said, it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful for households. It's going to be painful for businesses. It's going to be painful for virtually everybody to bring this inflation down. But this is the price we need to pay. Now, again, these are the words out of big banks. These are the words out of the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell. This is the price we need to pay in order to bring this inflation down. We need to get into a contractionary time where we need to basically shave off some of these unnecessary business spendings, some of the unnecessary jobs that are out there. There's a lot of different things that need to be really shaved down and willed down as a result of this inflation. That's the only way that they can really bring it down, according to the Federal Reserve and what they're suggesting. So it's going to be a painful time. But again, we already know this because this is what they've suggested. But this is the price we need to pay today to bring this inflation down. Otherwise, the inflation will never go down. It's not going to go down without aggressive action out of the Federal Reserve and aggressive action basically going forward. So this is kind of what we need to go through right now. It's not going to be a pretty situation, but eventually, if we do work through this, then eventually this inflation will go down. But here's the fact of the matter that I want to point out, which is during contractionary times in the economy, jobs are lost, businesses close down, businesses contract, businesses stop spending money, consumers, us, we the people, we stop spending money. Now, is that a good thing? Well, depends how you look at it. When we look at an economic contraction, yes, we want to stop spending as much money, because that's the whole point behind the economic contraction and raising interest rates, is to get us to stop spending money, right? They don't want us to spend as much money. They want us to save money, which is why you've probably been seeing some of your interest rates on savings accounts, or maybe your checking account. Maybe you're now getting 0.5%, maybe you're getting 1% interest, maybe even 1.5% or even 2% interest on your savings accounts or even checking accounts now. Why? They're trying to make it more appealing for us to save a little bit of money. It might not be much, but that's the whole fact of the matter, is they want us to save a little bit of money right now and stop spending money, because that's what's causing the inflation, is more money being circled around in the economy, right? They want money to stop being spent and money being going around in the economy, right? Like money velocity. They want it to stop changing hands as quickly as it currently was over the last couple of years. So that's what they're kind of trying to do with these interest rates and their policies going forward. But as a result of that, as we continue to see the economy contract, here's what's going to happen. We're going to continue to see further job losses. There's going to be businesses laying off people, businesses contracting, and as a result of that, the unemployment rate will continue to tick higher. Now, why do we care about this, and how does this translate into another check? Well, here's what it comes down to. The unemployment rate is basically the number one factor that Congress looks at, that the administration looks at, that the Federal Reserve looks at. This is what a lot of people out there look at when it comes down to, do we need intervention out of the Federal Reserve? Do we need intervention out of Congress to actually appropriate more money, print it up, and send it out? Well, the number one factor that they look at is, of course, the job market, the unemployment rate, to see, are people losing their jobs or what's going on with the job market. This is a very, very important factor that we need to watch closely. So we need to watch that closely. We also need to watch the Federal Reserve and what they're doing with the interest rate policy. And of course, we also need to watch what is going on with this inflation. I've said it before, and I want to say it again really, really quickly here. In the event that this economy goes into a very deep contraction, let's just say that inflation is still very high at that time. They won't care less about what what is going on with inflation. The whole idea then will be revive the economy, bring the economy back, and the price we'll pay at that point is more inflation. So that's the fact of the matter. They won't care about inflation at that point. If inflation is still sitting at, say, 5%, 5.5%, 6%, or whatever it happens to be sitting at that point, if they can't bring it down to their benchmark of 2 to 2.5%, which they're not going to, it's just they're not going to do it. I can tell you that much right now. They're not going to do it without crashing and burning on this economy. But when we get to the point where the economy is really down deep in a hole, the fact of the matter is they're going to look at this and they won't care less about this inflation. They'll just say, okay, inflation is the least of our concerns right now. We're going to print up a bunch of money and we're going to send it out again like we've always done previously before. And they're going to implement these quantitative easing type programs like what they've done over the last several years. The last 20 plus years, they've been implementing these quantitative type easing programs, essentially printing money. That's just a fancy way of saying printing money. That's exactly what they do every single time. So anyway, when it comes down to it, this is what we've got to watch very closely. Number one, the Federal Reserve. Number two, interest rate policy. Number three, inflation. And number four, the job market and unemployment rate. We got to watch all of these factors right here very closely. These are what are going to indicate the likelihood of another check going forward. So if you're seeing some of these headlines going on out there saying, checks deposited tomorrow night, checks deposited tonight, checks mailed out tonight, checks coming tomorrow. Okay. No, it's not. I can tell you that much right now. Not happening, okay? Not right now anyway. But maybe in the future, will that be happening at some point? Probably. Realistically, probably. It probably will happen at some point. But right now, it's not, okay? Just want to be fair with you and let you know what is actually going on right now, even though there are some headlines out there saying, checks are coming tomorrow. They're deposited. Deposit dates arrived. Deposit dates announced. Okay, no, they're not. Not for stimulus checks anyway. For Social Security, yes. For SSDI, yes. For SSI, yes. For VA benefits, yes. For state stimulus checks, yeah. In some cases, yes, there will be checks going out. But a highly focused fourth stimulus check out of the federal government, not quite yet. But hopefully sometime soon. But again, remember this much as well. 2009, there was a $250 highly focused check that went out just to Social Security beneficiaries. Maybe Congress would do that again. It would be very much in their best interest to do that yet again. So I'll keep you posted as I do get more details. But this is what I have for you as of right now. And again, when it comes down to it, who will be included? How much will it be? How fast will they get it out to us? All of these factors can be talked about when we get closer to that timeline. Of course, right now, we don't really know any of that. It would all be speculation as of right now if I were to start guessing on that stuff. So again, to be fair with you, it's not even worth going down that road right now because we don't have any clue as far as how much it could be, who would be included, how fast can they get it out to us. But I can tell you this much. In the event of another check going out, I can almost guarantee you this much. Social Security, SSDI, retirement, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB beneficiaries will be included. Just like the last three checks, you will be included again. You're not going to be left out. So please don't worry about that, okay? I know that's a major concern across a lot of people. Please don't worry about it. You will be included in the next one in the event there is another check that goes out. Anyway, I'll keep you posted as I do get more details. Again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, please have a nice day, enjoy, and I'll catch you